I want to address NASCAR and Bubba Wallace. It was a beautiful moment for me in Talladega. This happened after we went off the air on Monday, Christopher. Indeed. And again, we haven't discussed it because we were off on Tuesday and Wednesday. And so it was a beautiful moment at Talladega for the restart that Bubba Wallace, well, I guess it was a rain out the day before, that Bubba Wallace was walked out by his compatriots, the 43 car, circled, ringed by his fellow drivers, and the rest, as you could see, look at that crowd of NASCAR.
It was amazing.
Crew members for the rest of the circuit out there supporting Bubba Wallace. After it was announced by NASCAR with a full-on, full-throated statement on Sunday that a noose was found in his garage at Talladega. And the feds were called in on this to see if there was a federal hate crime that had been committed by a noose being left in the garage at Talladega of the lone person of color on the NASCAR circuit, okay? The person of color who drives on the NASCAR circuit. And I was full-throated here as well in condemning this, in condemning it, acting on all the information that I had placed in front of me. And NASCAR was right for saying what they said, even though we found out from the FBI and the DOJ that had been called in that this was a piece of rope that was used as a garage door pull, and that this was placed and had been at Talladega Raceway since last October. A garage door pull rope fashioned like a noose had been positioned there since as early as last fall, well before the 43 team's arrival and garage assignment, so nobody there knew that the lone person of color who drives on the circuit would occupy that garage. We appreciate the FBI's quick and thorough investigation and are thankful to learn this was not an intentional racist act against Bubba. We remain steadfast in our commitment to providing a welcoming and inclusive environment for all who love racing. And, of course, so many people then rushed in to say that people like me rushed in too soon to condemn, as if this was something that, for me, a rush to judgment that was unfair. And to that I say, I'm acting on only what I had heard. Not a single person at the time when this happened said, this sounds completely out of the realm of possibility. We should wait to hear something. Clearly, the rest of the NASCAR community didn't feel that way. Bomani Jones, just seek out what he said on Will Cain's show yesterday. It's a perfect response. That the benefit of the doubt that should have been given has not been earned. And that may outrage many people who are out there hearing me right now. And to that I say, let's take a look at what NASCAR put out just about a half an hour ago. Here's the photograph. Anybody who knows garage door pull ropes, anything ever look like that to you? Has anybody ever seen a rope on a garage door that looks like this? That's a noose. This is why it was taken seriously.
Yeah, that's why the FBI was called.
This is why everybody walked Bubba Wallace out. I'm sure they strolled by and saw it, saying that's kind of out of the ordinary. And now my question is how did the FBI and the DOJ look at that and not know if that's the way it was since last October? Nobody ever looked at that and said that that looks out of the ordinary? I'm now looking at a tweet from a Fox Sports NASCAR reporter, Bob Pockras, NASCAR says of 1,684 garage stalls, only 11 have pulled down tie rope with a knot, and only Wallace's stall was a noose. NASCAR also confirms that the noose wasn't tied like that in the garage stall at the start of the October 2019 race weekend, that it happened during the weekend. During the weekend in which everybody knew whose garage stall that was. Okay, so now we need to wait to hear everything, because there's something still missing. This thing hasn't been just wrapped up. Now, Bubba will say, and has said, he said it on CNN, he said it on many other places, he's not the one who reported it. It was a member of his crew that saw it first. So somebody looked at it and said, this is really strange and odd. Put that photograph up again. Seriously, anybody out there in our YouTube stream, anybody out there in our SiriusXM audience who's seeing this right now, you tell me. And wouldn't this be, even if it is tied like a noose, to try and pull something down, not even a functional knot, if you pull it by the noose? Because as you know, nooses are made to tighten. So this is serious. Could you imagine if that had come out, that photograph had come out before the feds said there's nothing to see here? How would you have viewed the nothing to see here statement? A bit of skepticism.
Yeah, kind of bogus.
And I'm not just saying this because, trust me, here I am looking at my birthday, just looking at some of the comments on our YouTube stream and of me ripping whoever placed a noose in Bubba Wallace's garage about how heinous and reprehensible. And I do know, to whoever did point this out, I did misuse the word scurrilous. That is true. I had to look it up again. I misused it. So what? I saw all the comments saying that I jumped to conclusions. Shouldn't I apologize? To who? Who am I apologizing to? I'm acting on something that the rest of NASCAR clearly acted on. And it was a beautiful, beautiful statement that everybody made on behalf of Bubba Wallace and against racism. It was beautiful. And I'm glad I reacted that way. And I'm glad that NASCAR reacted this way too. And anybody, I'm seeing folks saying NASCAR shouldn't have put out that statement. If they didn't put out that original statement and this got found out that this had happened and NASCAR didn't react the way that it did, wouldn't they be accused, and rightfully so, of soft pedaling the response? And just to think again what Bubba Wallace has to think about as he's going to work. Seeing Confederate flags still flying and flying over what? Defund, there was somebody flew around, defund NASCAR with a Confederate flag flying around. So this is the circumstances in which somebody says, hey, there's a garage pull-down tie rope that looks nothing like what I've seen anywhere else. Now, I know people will start posting, this is another one that looks like it, this is another one that looks like it. NASCAR confirms the noose wasn't tied like this in the garage stall at the start of the October 2019 race weekend, and that it happened during the weekend. Is there video of somebody messing with that rope, and how have we not found out about it?